What's going on, everybody? It's your man with the plan, Shane Man 20, and well, today we're going to be doing a real quick update on things, so it should be a relatively short video. So to start some of the updates that I have for the channel, just basically kind of going through a basic, not so really relative to anything, but I've been running the truck on 92 octane. Now the first thing you're probably going to ask me is, Shane, why don't you just run it on 91 or even 93? Well, that's because the two stations that I normally stop at just so happen to have 92 octane, so those were the only choices. And the only other place to go from that point was to step down to 89 octane, and that didn't really make much sense. So I just said, screw it, I'll stick with 92. We'll try it, see how it works. So I've been running 92 for the past 2 or 3 weeks or so, trying to get the E85 that was in the fuel tank out of the system, trying to get complete full-on 92 octane gas in the truck. And it's actually ran pretty well now that I've gotten this fresh tank in, which I stopped at a gas station in town. It's been relatively new. It's like about 2 years old. Stopped in, got gas there, and this whole week it's actually ran really well. And I mean, even before that it was still running pretty good for 92 octane. Now, some of the guys that do own these newer Silverados and Sierras, you guys know about your fuel mileage gauge, your miles per gallon gauge, the thing that's in the truck. Mine all week has been showing about 24 and even at points 25 miles per gallon, but at the most, you know, maybe 23, maybe the high side of 22 this week. So it's really been kind of strange to see, but then the last couple of weeks it's been kind of in its real normal place, like where I would normally have it if I'd ran 87 octane, which would have been around 21 to 23. So it kind of varied. So I don't know whether to believe whether that gauge is actually right or not, but one thing that I was doing there for the longest time was actually figuring out whether or not that gauge is actually accurate or not. And I stopped doing it for a while, but now I really need to pick back up on it again, because now it's giving me those kind of readings. And what I was able to do is I do have a receipt, so I'm gonna try and do some calculations with it later on and try and figure out whether or not it's actually telling me the truth. It's probably going to be pretty close, probably going to be close to 22 miles per gallon, maybe a little bit more on this fill up, but maybe not, who knows, we'll see. Anyways, good Lord, look at the bug splatter. What in the hell? You would think I went through like some sort of bug storm. This is the difficulty right here. This is why it's very hard to live in Indiana and have a nice, clean daily driver. You can't have one because of this right here. And look, it's even all over the windshield. I wish you guys could see what it looks like from the inside. It's nasty. It's just purely because I've been a little bit lazy, and I've had a lot more work to do. I've been a little bit busier here in the last couple of weeks, trying to do a lot more research for stuff for this, and so that's kind of part of the reason why I haven't had a chance to really clean it up yet. So I'm hoping sometime within the next weekend or so I can take the truck out back, let it cool down, and get it nice and clean, because it definitely needs it. And I also have one more update for you guys. Like I said, I was ordering parts for the truck. Well, they all finally came in. Woo! Now, I don't want to go on ahead and tell you guys exactly what it is just yet. I want the suspense to build just a little bit, so that way you guys can take some guesses. Maybe, what did I actually buy that took forever just to get here? But in either case, there is one other piece that I still have to order, and of course, like everything else, it's also on back order. So what I plan on doing is I plan on getting a hold of the company, trying to see if maybe they have an idea of how long it's going to take before they have another shipment in, and then we'll go from there and try and see what other things we can do. I still do plan to put on a cold air intake, and I do still plan on doing a tune, or getting a tuner rather. And one other oddity is that, you remember me telling you guys about that sound, that noise, that odd noise that I remember hearing the truck make? Well, over the past 2 weeks, that noise has stopped. It hasn't come back since I told you guys. So I I don't know what's different now. I don't know if maybe I was just running some, maybe it was just that I was running poor fuel, and that very well could be. So the sound has gone completely away. I haven't heard it since then. So I'm led to believe that maybe for now it's gone. Knock on wood. And also to update you guys on the Jeep, which there's been a little bit of interest. There's not been too much that I've seen from that video, but if in case you guys have missed it and want to check out that video, it is a pretty lengthy video, so I will apologize quickly in advance for it being a pretty lengthy video. But in either case, one thing that we did do to the Jeep is that we pulled all the spark plugs out, checked all of them, noticed that all of them except for 2 of them were basically soot covered. So not necessarily saying like an oil deposit, soot covered, kind of like it was running rich, which I think came from the prior carburetor that we had on it, which is very possible. But in either case, we pulled them out, we cleaned them up, and we actually widened the gaps. Found somewhere where it talked about the HEI ignition system requiring a wider spark plug gap of anywhere between 45 to 55 thousandths. So we picked a range somewhere around 47 to 50 thousandths for a happy medium. Gapped all the spark plugs to that point, and we have yet to try it because we realized the Jeep is now finally, after 2 years, out of gas. But that's a good thing, because now we can put high octane fuel in it, and we can put things like Sta-Bil in it, and just because we haven't really been doing that. I tried to tell my dad that last year, and I was this close to buying a bottle for him, and we got busy last year and then never had a chance to come back up here. So do yourself a favor, just get the Sta-Bil. This time we will definitely be doing that, as well as getting high octane fuel, maybe making it a little bit more stable and just giving us some sort of platform to work with. Also, one other thing to update you guys on is my goal is now to have an upload for you guys every Friday at 3 p.m. At the very latest, it would be 7 p.m. But my biggest goal right now is to try and shoot for having an upload for you guys every Friday at 3 p.m. I think right now that's a very doable goal. That gives me at least 3 to 4 days to film, gives me about 2 days to edit, and a day and a half to upload and get it to you guys. So that's about the gist of it. But my goal is to try and consistently upload and have things for you guys. That way we're not getting that scatterbrained, half-baked video out there. And I know we're kind of back into that again, thinking that I would have plenty of content for you guys, which I thought that's what the Jeep would put out. But sadly, I'm kind of disappointed at that. But that's okay. That's what project cars, things like this, even my daily driver, that's what you have to deal with, and that's what comes up. Even big YouTubers have this kind of problem. So it's not like I feel that bad, but at the same time I want to be able to sort of make a name for myself. But alas, we will march on. But with all that said, I think that's everything that I have to tell you guys. Like I said, I do still plan on doing a lot more with the truck, and we're also going to do a lot more with the Jeep. It's just kind of a slow process. Anybody that knows just said when you get really busy and you ain't got a whole bunch of money to work with, things don't really move at the pace you want them to. So we are trying. I said, I promise you there are going to be some neat things coming to the channel. It's just grinding really, really slow. It's like a terrible, terrible work day. It's horrible. I will do a reveal on what is actually inside those boxes here pretty soon, so that way you guys can kind of get a hint at what I plan on doing next to this truck after the cold air intake and the tune. So with that said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. Also, if this is your first time stopping into the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me, guys. I don't think you know. Also, do not forget about that notification bell next to the subscribe button. Make sure to hit that so you are always notified of when I post new videos, because nobody likes being left out in the dark. I don't like being left out in the dark. It sucks. But with all that said, guys, hopefully you have a fantastic day and take it easy.